Hello everybody and welcome back to another adventure here on That Adventure Life. In today's video we are going to be heading to Death Valley National Park's Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes. This is a very cool area of the park and there are several things you can do here, and all of those are going to be covered in today's video. The parking lot here is nice and big, but this is also a very popular area, so you're not always guaranteed to get a spot. The first item on our list of things that you can do here is hiking. The Mesquite Flat Sand Dune Trail is an unmarked 2.3 mile long trail with 154 feet of elevation gain. That may not sound like a lot, but remember you are hiking in sand and climbing up and over dunes, so it will feel like a much more substantial hike. And if you are going to hike out into the dunes, we highly recommend taking part in activity number 2 on this list, which is sand sledding. There are some smaller dunes located closer to the parking lot, but if you want a top-notch sand sledding experience, you're gonna have to hike in a little bit. We decided to hike in barefoot just to avoid getting sand in our shoes, but keep in mind that the sand here is not as pristine as it is in places like White Sands National Park, which you can see by clicking in the upper corner right now. V ended up stepping on a couple pokey sticks, but luckily she's a trooper and she didn't let it stop her. If you have seen our white sand sledding video, just know that the dunes out here are not only taller, but they're steeper as well, so you can get a whole lot more speed. While my first run may have been a little bit lacking in excitement, we brought something along that was sure to spice it up a little bit. We brought the wax from White Sands National Park, and we were going to try that next. The only downside to this trip to the dunes is that we got here a little bit close to sunset. The best dunes here are the ones that you see way off in the distance there, and we just didn't have enough daylight to get to them on this trip. But that doesn't mean that we weren't going to be able to get some serious speed out here. So after we found some really good dunes, I did one more run without wax down the dunes for a direct comparison. It was okay, but when you compare it to my lightning fast waxed run, you can definitely see a difference. And yes, just in case you're wondering, I think I'm still finding sand in my ears. We were kind of bummed that we weren't going to be able to make it all the way out to the biggest dune. Although after a massive crash like I had, it might not be a good idea to take the wax sled down that sand dune. Last time when we went out there, it was long before the days of YouTube and we didn't take any video. But we did take a bunch of pictures. The trip to get out here is no joke, and it is quite a hike, but I can pretty much guarantee that it is well worth it. The only downside about sliding down the biggest dunes out here is that if you want to do it again, it is one heck of a trip back up to the top. While there are other sand dunes inside the park, Mesquite Flats is the largest dune field inside Death Valley National Park, covering an area of 14 square miles. As we waited for the sun to set over the mountain, V and I got in a couple more runs down the dunes, and this time I can happily say that they happened without incident. The next item on the list of things that this area is popular for is photography. One of the benefits of this dune field being so large is that you can take these beautiful landscape photos that stretch all the way off as far as the eye can see. And if you bring your own model, you're really in for a treat. One piece of advice if you are coming out here for landscape or portrait photography is that the timing of day is everything. If you visit during the afternoon, the dunes are going to appear very flat and unimpressive, but if you come during the morning or evening hours, you're going to get something really special. Speaking of evenings, the last thing on this list that this area is popular for is its sunsets. We really lucked out on this day with a sky that looked like it was on fire. Not only is the sun setting on the dunes, but it's setting on this video as well. But before we end this video, have you ever been sand sledding? If so, where's your favorite spot to do it? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps out the algorithm. And for all the information about Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes, as well as other awesome adventures, head on over to 𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐴DVENTURELIFE.com.